What's up, gamers? How's it going? Welcome in, everybody. What's going on? We're sorry, y'all, if you're welcome in. How's it going? Ugh. Yeah, we're gonna get started here in just a second. Daniela, welcome in. I'm doing pretty good. We're just about to get started on some more learning stuff. Yeah, I've been working on a whole new layout for everything. I'll show you guys what I've got going on. Yeah, I just never really liked the old layout of the shop. It felt a little boring because it was perfectly symmetrical, and also it was just very empty. So I made some changes. We'll go over all of it. I can't remember if that was on stream or not. I literally don't even know. I don't think it was. We'll see. Just give me a moment. But yeah. It'll open us up to a lot of things. We'll be able to do like character customization and a billion different things now. So I think it'll be fun. And also the thing that I want to do today, shop decorations. So yeah, we will be doing that. Anyways, let's dive into it. It's a cool guy. Welcome in. How's it going? All right, let's go here. Okay. So, to the aquarium. So this is the new layout that we've got going on. Yeah, I don't know if I've showed off. Yeah, I don't think this is on stream. But I added this little merchandise rack up here. And this is just so that when hold on, everybody. Okay, sorry about that. But yeah, anyways, whenever you unlock the merchandise research, it like shows this little thing, this little merchandise rack. Yeah, why are these why zombies? It's just a placeholder skin color. It gets replaced because I use a shader to do like a color swap shader. So that's all this is. It doesn't actually look like that in game, but yeah, it does look like zombies. Let's load into the game. Yeah, it's now the way it all works is the player's using the same inherited scene that the customers are. So it means that we can do like just it's good to do it that way. The customers are the same as the player, right? And that's a good thing. Because it means that we can any customization. I'll say, hey, Abra, thank you so much for the resub. Very much appreciated. Confetti. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's been 27 months. Thank you so much for being subbed for so long. It's really epic. I do really appreciate all of the people that are so like loyal that way, you know? It's epic. So thank you. It's much appreciated. But yeah, anyways, these customers are the same as the player. So let's say that I added a new like piece for the player. Like let's say I added a new hair piece, right? It means that the player gets to choose to use that hair, but then also the customers can spawn with that hair. So I think it's just really good to have these tied into the same two systems because it'll just make both sides of it better. Like if I added a new customer thing, the player gets to wear it if they want. So just, you know, stuff like that. Yeah, anyways, there's this new desk here. It's definitely not finished. We need to go through and like add stuff onto this, like a cash register and all that. Because right now it's just nothing. But it's fine. And I do actually really like this whole like the shop dynamically changing as you unlock things. I think I'd like to do that even more. Because I think it's just super cool. You grab a research and then all of a sudden like, whoa, there's like a thing in the shop. It's crazy. Yeah, I would love to do that. Maybe like we have a little sign over here when you buy your first advertising upgrade here, or something like that. You know, like those signs you see outside of shops. It's like the triangle sign. You know what I'm talking about? Oh yeah. Also, I forgot I'd left my my filter on my webcam. I did this to record a short. Let me turn that off. I can hear it making my computer work really hard, so my fans are spinning up, and yeah. Also, you might see this. I did put a post on Discord, but boom, take a gander. So these are going to be our decoration locations. Essentially, what we're going to be doing for customization of the shop is we're going to have like slots for the decorations that you can place down. And the reason I do that is because let's say I change the layout of the shop again or something. It means that like your decorations that are placed don't get corrupted. Because like one problem if we did just position based decorations, right? I change the shop, boom. Now the positions might be like overlapping the tanks and other stuff. It might not even be in the shop anymore. So it's a big problem, right? I don't want that to be a constraint that I apply to myself just to make things difficult for no reason. So this, I think, is going to be the play. You get to customize and do stuff, but it'll be in a way where it keeps the shop flexible. We can change things and do what we need to. So I think it's going to be the play. It's kind of inspired from like the Pizzeria Simulator. Like the way that the decorations are in that. It's very similar. They don't. There's not even one image of the actual store. Okay, that's epic, Scott. Where is it? Yeah, like in here, there's like these slots like that you can put your objects into. So I think that's just going to be the way to do it with decorations. But yeah. See, where are you the only one on YouTube? You may perhaps be. It's hard to say. Yeah, usually. Yeah, it's always annoying. I would love to like merge the chats together with YouTube and Twitch, but Twitch has really like stupid rules about how you can display the Twitch chat and stuff. So unfortunately, it's not something I can do. So I want to move these two spots down a pixel. I don't want any of these to be like right on the edge. Let's go. We do have more people on YouTube. Welcome in, everyone. All right. So I think what we're gonna do now is let's just create like our first decoration for the shop. Just something really quick. So all of these slots are 24 by 24. So the base of them can be 24 by 24. We can go as tall as we want. So it doesn't really matter. Hey, Real Pepsi, welcome in. How's it going? How have you been doing? All right, so what kind of decorations do you guys want? We can literally do whatever we want. First idea that gets said, I'll add. We'll add a bunch more later on too, but yeah. It's actually doing a real circle. Oh yeah, the brush does a circle, but you can't do a circle with circle tool, which I've always thought is really stupid. Patrick's house from SpongeBob. A rock. Okay. It'll literally just be this. that's the decoration. It'll be fine. Basketball, we can do that one next. Oh, it's you on YouTube. Okay, okay. Yeah, I didn't realize. Oh, right. Yeah, I totally forgot. No, I remember a long time ago. Yeah, it's been forever. So let's look at Patrick's house. It's just a rock with like a little thing on top. What is it? It's a weather vane on top of his house? Yeah. Okay. G sub, yeah. Okay. So let's just draw a rock. Strange decoration, but you know what? Man of my word, I gotta do it now. Now, one thing actually with these, I'll probably increase the resolution of them a little bit to 26 by 26. And the reason I'm doing that is because with the outline shader that we have inside of the game, there has to be a border of transparency around it, otherwise it breaks. So that's why. All right, I think that's good there. And we just start rounding off the dome. Boom. Rock. We got more people on YouTube. Yeah, it's epic. Cool to see people over there. An easy first one? Definitely true. It's relatively easy to draw. So on one side, there's an arrow. Oops. And the other side has like little like sticks. It's hard because I don't want it to be enormous, but I guess I could do like that and then shrink it. Because it's not that big relative to his house, you know? And this would be like smaller. Whatever, that's good enough. Okay. And his rock? I'm looking at the colors here, I mean... It's kind of like reddish, you know? Well, it depends on the frame, though. In a lot of frames, it's just more gray. This is kind of a black, shiny rock. But, yeah, most of the time it looks like it's kind of like a maroon. Because, like, in this one, I mean, it's at nighttime, but... And, like, also, yeah, some of these... I mean, that one's not. Okay. I never really thought about the color of Patrick's house before. Alright, let's do a big shiny mark. Something like that. We can make it a little taller. Then, I don't know how we would get the maroon vibe, though. That's the problem here. I guess I could replace this gray with this. And then... Yeah, we can do this as like a dark color. That would work. Might do some like rim lighting on this one. Let's build that up. But now this is like a little too dark or something. Nah, it'll be fine. Okay, rim lighting. Just want to do a little bit of it. Let's do that. All right, that'll probably do. And anyways, let's outline it. It's a silly decoration, but It'll work. Okay. And I think the bottom now is like, I gotta do one of these. There we go. Okay. I don't know what we're gonna call this house or this decoration. Maybe just I don't literally want to call it Patrick's house because, you know, copyright infringement, and that's a dangerous game to play. Let's see, actually, wait, this is projected onto a sphere, so how would this work? It's like the shadow, because it would technically like droop down or whatever. Weird how that works. Yeah, like that. Home for starfish. Yeah. Let's make a new, let's see. I don't want the name to be too long. Starfish home. That's fine. All right. So we're gonna need a new table, or actually no, we don't, because I realized I've been planning for this from the very beginning, everyone. Because I have this in our decorations table. I've got this little tag, whether it's for the tank or not. So we can add in a decoration here that's specifically not for the tank. So I just do this, and then I say tank false on this. Now we will have to add a new thing for it, but yeah. Starfish home. I don't know. Looks familiar. Okay, and then sprite offset. We'll do a little bit, but not that much, like -4. There's no sway strength. So that should start at 0, yeah. Okay. So here's what we need to do to get this system working now, is we need a section inside of the shop to actually select and buy decorations, because we don't have that right now. So we're going to duplicate this node, call this decorations, and now we can start modifying our code. So in shop menu on ready, you can see right here, we go through all of the upgrade IDs and add it there. So we're gonna kind of do the same thing again, but a little bit different. We're actually gonna go just copy like how we do it inside of the tank menu, because we already do it for the tank decorations, right? I believe, yeah, right here. So back into here, I'm just gonna add that there. All right. And now we need to say, instead of if tank, if not tank. And that should basically be it. And now we just add another thing up here for our decorations list. Boom. Go back into the shop menu. And then we are pretty much good to go. So what happens when I buy one of these? Because it does tank menu place decoration. But in this case, there isn't really a reference to the tank menu. So I'm going to only do that if tank menu. Do I actually give this a reference to it? Let's see. So if I go back into the shop menu. Yeah, I don't really want that. So we get rid of that. Okay. That should fix that. So hopefully what's going to happen here is just nothing. Also, I don't know why these are commented out. That's a little peculiar. Oh, right, because it doesn't actually buy it the moment that you do that. It buys it when you actually place it down, so. Okay. So if we go ahead and load into the game, we should see all the decorations. I mean, there's just one right now, but we should see it pop up now in a tab in the shop menu. Let's see, boom, decorations, starfish home. So now we can click buy. It doesn't do anything right now. That's the next step. We've got to like create another kind of mode or whatever for the aquarium now when you're placing down decorations. We have one that's already a little similar to that, which is when you pick up a fish, right, and move it into a tank. It's kind of the same idea, right? So we could potentially kind of do it this way. Use the same code we have set up for this, right? Instead of choose tank, it'll like say choose spot or something. And then you can just click on these spots and it adds it. So that may be the play. We'll see. There's a lot of different ways you can do the same thing. That's something that's crazy about game development is like, there's literally a billion ways to do it. We could either make our own a new thing or just kind of edit this current system to work for decorations also. I'm probably just going to do that because I think it'll be easier that way. We'll have to rename a couple things, but I don't think it'll be that bad. All right, so what that menu overlay thing is the add to tank menu. Unfortunately, it's not add to tank anymore. But it'll be fine. So yeah, it sets it to that. It resets held fish ID. So I'm actually gonna have another variable now, probably. Yeah, there's a couple things I'm gonna do here, I think. I'm gonna say var thing held, right? And then in here, I think I have fish ID. Oh, that's in global. Whoops. Go back to aquarium. 1 billion ways of doing things and they're all wrong. Very true. Okay, so we got these two here. It's all for the customer stuff. Okay, so thing held and held fish ID. Might actually do this. Make held type this. And say it's a type of held types, right? And then make an enum. And it's either a fish or decoration. And by default, it doesn't need to be anything. Okay, then we set it back to null when it's done, probably. Or let's just have another state called none. Be easier that way. So now instead of held fish ID, we just say held ID. And that's probably gonna ruin a lot of things. So we gotta go through and fix it all. So add to tank on here. We just want to say held ID is back to nothing. Save that. And then also global dot aquarium dot held type is equal to aquarium dot held types dot none. So we know what is being grabbed. Okay, so a couple more things in here. Apparently I also set it here. I'm gonna turn this into a function now because clearly it's something I'm calling multiple times. So I'm gonna say function reset held. And it's just gonna do a couple things. It's gonna say held type is equal to no held type We're going to say held ID is equal to an empty string, and then also we want to set our cursor. So we do right here. Boom. So now we're just going to call that instead of all this, right? It's just easier that way. Save global.aquarium.reset held. All right. Let's keep working through everything. So there, we just say reset held also. Save it in there so we can see it there. Cool. Let's fix these because now it's referencing the wrong ID. Try this again. There's still one reference here. Say held ID. And this guy right here, fish ID, will now just be held ID. So we don't have any references to that anymore. That's good. Make sure I'm not resetting this manually anymore. Okay. So now what we're going to do is inside of the decorations panel, when we pick up a decoration, we say global.aquarium.held ID is equal to decoration ID. Say global.aquarium.held type is equal to held types dot decoration. I think that's it. Yeah, because I do the same thing. Oops. I was doing equivalent to. Let's see where I say this. So I'm only doing that there. I should be doing that also when I pick up a fish. I believe that's inside of here. Okay. Dot held type is equal to global dot aquarium dot held types dot fish. And then also we need to. Okay, so I think I might make another function because we have one for reset now, and we're gonna do one for function set held item. Let's just set held. And then we're going to pass in a couple things. So first off, the type, the ID, and that should be it. Held ID will be equal to that. Held type is equal to type. We give this a type of held types. This will be a type of string. And then also now we figure out what the icon should be. So if our held type is equal to held types.fish, elif held type is equal to held types.decoration. Let me do a different one. So should be pretty easy to do this now. We just say global.aquarium. Set held, and then we need to pass in the type fish and the item ID. Okay, so a couple more things. We're going to toggle this on. We're going to say get node that. Then this is where we set our thing here. So we're going to say var data is equal to global dot items table dot get ID. Set that to the sprite. And same thing here with decorations. We just do the same thing, but we say decorations table instead. Okay. Let's call this data Boom. We don't need to say global aquarium. Nice. Now it's saying could not resolve class aquarium. That's fine. Self-referential. And then back to the decoration panel, we do the same thing. Set held. Oops, type first. Types decoration. And then decoration ID. All right, so let me show you guys what happens here now. And also, when we pick up a fish, do we close the UI? Let me see. Or no, because we say toggle on the other one, so it automatically closes it. Should be okay, I think. All right, so let's just make sure the fish stuff still works. Boom. It's not setting the icon properly. I'm not sure what's up with that. It should be. Maybe that's Sprite. Let's make sure that it's doing that. Okay. A little odd. I'm doing the same exact code here. Cursor dot icon. Okay. Dot texture is equal to the item sprite. Unless it's somehow calling reset held or something, right? Like maybe? Actually, it could be. Because maybe when I toggle on that menu, it calls reset held and then resets the texture. Let's see what happens. But you can see it did call reset, but it called that last. Oh, but it means that it's calling that before the texture is set. Okay, so we just need to make the menu visible first, and then it's fine. So now when I select a fish, boom. Doesn't work. Hold on. Let's save, let's reload the game. Gotta figure out why that happens. So it must be because one of these menus are closing. Yeah, it's weird that I can't. Oh, it's like it wasn't active or something. That's a little weird. An object of type null. Did it not set a proper ID? I'm trying to figure out what exactly is going on here. We might just need to do this, which we can print out the current like ticks. So we can actually see what's happening first. And right here is where it's doing all that stuff. We're saying add or whatever. Let's try this, and then it should show us the precise moment. One second, guys. Okay. So I clicked the fish. I did a reset there when I opened the menu, which is fine. And then I click move the tank. I mean, you can see that it resets, but then on the same frame, it should be... It got called after, so it should set the texture to the sprite. I don't know what it's doing. Let's print out what the data is, because maybe it's returning an invalid object or something. And that didn't print for some reason. Oh, it must be that data is nothing. Here, let's print out what ID is. Maybe that's the problem here. Fish minnow. Oh, it's probably that I need to do this stuff after. Because it's resetting the ID by the time I'm setting the texture. Okay. I'm like pretty confident this will work now. There we go. Okay, just minor things we had to work out. So now we should be able to go into the shop, click on the decoration, and everything dies. And that's because we don't have any code in here to check for stuff in here. So it's fine. So I'm just gonna say, instead of checking held ID now, we can just say held type is equal to global.aquarium dot held types dot fish. That should fix that. Then we'll do that. Yeah, so just do the same chunk of code here. If it's equal to held type fish, then we know that we're holding a fish. Let's try that. I know. Oh yeah, we had to skip 6 times or whatever. There we go. So now you can pick up a decoration. You can click that, and there we go. We are holding a decoration in our hand. So a couple things that we're going to do to make all this work. I probably shouldn't be able to select NPCs while I have an item held. So I'm gonna make that not a thing anymore. So let's go do that. If we have a held ID. So we want to go into the aquarium cursor. And this is going to cause a problem that we will solve. I'll show you guys. Or not that, not equal to empty. So we're good now. If we pick up an item now, you can see I can't select the customers anymore, which is good. But you can see we are now unable to select the tanks, right? So that's obviously a problem. So what I'm going to do to fix that, we can do a couple things here. I'll actually just mark which things are valid to be selected, right? So if body is fish tank, and global aquarium dot held type is equal to held types. So if it's a fish tank and we're holding a fish, because otherwise if we're not holding a fish, it won't count it as a valid object to select. And then for the customer, we just say and global dot aquarium dot held ID dot is empty. All right, so check this out. So now I have a fish, can't select the NPCs, but I can select the tanks. And then I have a decoration, can't select the tanks or the NPCs. So we're gaming. Also, we're going to discuss this soon. We're going to talk about this. It's a problem. We're going to fix it. So, all right, we're really getting close here. The next thing is we just need to kind of implement some code to like check when we're hovering over one of these boxes, right? And just kind of snap it to the box or show like a little preview sprite, right? So to do that, I hate to do this, but I think we're gonna have to change or save all of these as a scene. So let's go ahead and do this. I'm gonna make this a node 2D. Call it decoration spot. And we're gonna start building up a thing here. Hey, thank you all for the follow. I really appreciate it. Let's make this pure red. 24 by 24. All right, and then we're going to offset the position of this. Minus 12. So this is just so I can see like where this decoration spot sort of is and the center point and everything. We're going to have to go through and replace all these because now we're making them like a specific scene. So it's going to be a little annoying. Unless I could just change all these to type. Actually, this might work. I'm going to try something here. So on position, I'm going to go ahead and say plus 12 and plus 12. Oops, undo that. So it looks broken, but here's my... Oh, but it doesn't... Yeah, I'm going to have to go one by one, but it's fine. So let's go ahead and change or save this as a scene. And we're going to give this a, like a script and stuff and a type. But it's like a custom scene, so we have to redo it. Yeah, we're just going to have to replace all of them. It's okay. Let's just keep moving along. Place that guy, get rid of spot 2. I don't even know which one is spot 3. Okay, that one's spot 3. Spot 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9 and 10. Let's get rid of those guys. I don't know which one is next. Okay, that one. It doesn't really matter what order these are in or whatever, you know, like it's just kind of arbitrary. Because to the player, it doesn't mean anything. Like, you're not going to be able to see the names of these nodes or whatever, so... This is just kind of a internal way for the game to keep track of where your decorations are. You probably won't ever even really, like, notice that these are, like, things, right? So... Okay, I believe that is all the decoration spots. So anyways, we've got all those nodes placed down, so now we can modify this scene. What I wanted to do, or the reason I just did that, is we can add this sprite onto here that we get like a little preview, right? So we can see where this sprite's going to end up. It should work pretty well. I'm gonna actually change this now to be a type of area 2D and give it a... Not a color rect, but a collision shape 2D. Because if we look at the way that our aquarium cursor works, right? Aquarium cursor, and we can see what type of body it's searching for, right? So it is looking for a layer of 3. So we can give this a layer of 3. And now we're able to interact with this decoration. All right. We'll have some code inside of here. We'll call it class name decoration spot. And we'll have our sprite, which we'll do on ready. sprite 2D. So we're gonna have some things in here now. So function hover. And then function set, like decoration. That's gonna have a couple things. So it's gonna pass in a decoration ID optionally. Or yeah, we'll just do that. And then so if it's empty, we're gonna reset it. Otherwise, go ahead and do it for real. So we'll set it to color.white. There's more information we'll probably store with these guys eventually, but not gonna worry about that right now. And then whenever we hover over it, we're gonna say var decoration is equal to, we'll pass in a decoration ID again. Okay, do the same thing there. Honestly, I think what I might do here, there's an easier way I could do this. Yeah, I guess this will be fine. So you just want to check if that ID is empty or not. So if it's empty, we're just going to say sprite.texture is equal to null, and that's it. Otherwise, we go ahead and say sprite.texture is equal to decoration.sprite. And also sprite.offset, offset is equal to decoration.sprite offset. So practically the same things down here as well. Decoration at sprite, sprite offset, set the modulate. And then if it's empty, we're going to say that sprite.texture is equal to null. And that's basically it. There's not really a whole lot we have to do here. Just some basic code. And in here we can do kind of like a semi-transparent like blueprint color or whatever. We'll say color. Let's give it like 0.5 alpha. And I think we'll make it mostly green, maybe. Like that. We'll see what that looks like. Okay. So now the rest of our code is in here. So there's something else we can check now. LF body is a decoration spot. And we do some stuff in here, right? Then we just have some checks. So if body.id is already active, don't do anything. So we want to check if it's empty. Then we can say body.hover with our current ID. So we want to say global.aquarium old ID. And we got to make sure that the held ID is not empty. Okay. So we do that. And then we also want to reset the hover state. So kind of like up here where we say if held customer and blah, blah, blah. Or reset object, I guess is where we do it. Yeah, right here. Object is decoration spot. Then we say hover null. Okay. I think we're pretty much good to go. Let's try this out. I have no idea what's going to happen here. But basically, we should see that when we are holding a decoration and we hover over one of these spots, it'll like show the... Okay, they all have default decorations for some reason. Let's get rid of those. And hopefully this will work. I'm going to print a thing in here. Just so I know when we're being hovered. Okay. See what happens. This decoration and not seeing it run any code in here for the placement. So something's a little up with that. Let's figure out why that's happening. It should be checking for those. There's nothing in there. I'm just gonna do this. I didn't even mean to type gas. That was an accident. Okay. Very interesting. So it's not showing me anything. Because it's not technically counting as a body. Oh, that could be the issue. I think I don't want this to be an area. I want this to be a body, a static body. I may be a fool. Let's try this again. Because yeah, the area for a cursor is only detecting bodies. Oops. Let's fix that code. Restart. Yo, thank you for the hydrate. Much appreciated. Okay, let's try this again. Boom. And there we go. It's a little bit broken. It's showing it like stays there for some reason. It doesn't get reset, which is wrong. Let's figure out why that happens. Because it should be resetting the texture right here if that's... Oh, I said if that's empty. Ugh. That's why. I was setting this to null, which is not correct. That needs to be set to an empty string. All right, one last try here. Should be good to go. Then we can make it so you can buy the decorations with money. Still doing it. I'm gonna statically type this as a string just so we don't get any mistakes. Maybe it's still passing it in as null somewhere. Yeah, I don't know why it is doing that. It's a little peculiar. Let's keep figuring it out. Okay, so when we first select the object, let's just start from the beginning. Oh, I wasn't saying new object is equal to body. Duh. Then call break. Okay. Easy mistake. Should be fine now. Okay. Wrong menu. Boom. Now you can see it doing it properly. And I don't know why it's doing a click noise. I don't mind it. I must play a click down here, yeah. So that's actually fine. It's good, I think, because you get a little bit of feedback when you can actually place it down. That's cool. Yeah, this should work. Then we can just left click, it'll spend the money and then place it, and yeah. So back into here, aquarium cursor. If we ever have that object set as our active object, we instantly know that it's we can go ahead and buy it. So if object right in here, we're just gonna say LF object is decoration spot. We'll say global dot money minus equals whatever it is. We have to get the decorations of our decorations table to get held ID minus equals decoration data dot cost. We run up our UI thing, so global UI dot money particles, and then also we do we have to actually set the decoration, right? That would probably help. So object dot what is it, set decoration, update decorations. Let's figure out what the function is. Yeah, it's set decoration, then we just pass in an ID, which is this. All right, let's try it out. We should be able to place this down now. So if I buy it, doesn't want to do anything. Might have missed something in the code. Oh, I was a fool. I did the wrong object or whatever. Okay, let's try this again. Place down decoration. Boom. So now we can actually place them down. There we go. So a little bit more code and stuff I want to do here. Let's go make a little sprite for kind of an outline area for where you can place a decoration. Just something really basic, but it'll help because then you can be like, oh yeah, that's where I can put this decoration. I think we'll do something like this, and then get 50% opacity, the corners, and maybe we put a plus in the center. I don't know if that's actually the center. Eight pixels. I'm too good, guys. And just call this spot frame or whatever. G. Okay, so we're gonna replace this sprite with spot frame texture. Call this frame. And now a couple things that we're gonna do. We're gonna connect up some signals here, right? So it should be pretty easy to do. We're gonna make a signal in here, held changed. Then whenever set held gets activated, we say held change dot emit. And also whenever we say reset held as well. Okay. Now what we're gonna say is connect this up. Thank you for the Speens, Fencer. I appreciate it. Yeah, how's it going? Welcome in. I could have this on an infinite tween, maybe. That would be the most performant way of doing this, because I don't really want to create a process event. But also, if I'm being completely honest, is it really that bad? It's only a couple nodes. I'm so, like, Starground coded with my brain, but... Hyped about decorations? Yeah, I think it's going to be really fun, for sure. It's something I've... something I wanted to add for a long time, so... so I'm going to say scale is vector 2. Also say visible is equal to global dot aquarium dot held type is equal to decoration, and ID is empty. So now times global sign range from like 0.9 to 1.1. Find like a ticks milliseconds divided by 200. All right. So we'll see if this works. Let's see, Ahmed. What to learn? I'm so lost. Yeah, I do apologize if I'm going through things really fast or anything. But yeah, you're just talking about like what you should learn if you want to get into game development. Oh, it's scaling the okay, a couple things we gotta fix. This should not be visibility on everything. It should just be specifically the frame. And specifically the frame scale. Otherwise everything will get modified. Okay. Let's try this again. So we go to place our decorations. We see the things wobbling. That might even be a little bit too much on the animation. I wasn't sure if it was going to be, but I think let's just lower that value ever so slightly. That's a little more reasonable. Yeah, I guess the job done. It just shows you where it's going to happen. Let's give that the unshaded shader. And then one final thing I want to do, depending on whether it's in hover mode or not. I want to say sprite.material is equal to preload unshaded. And then here, I want to get rid of it. Material is equal to null. All right, so you'll see what that does now. The decoration, when we're doing the little preview, won't be affected by lighting, but then when we place it down, it will be. You can see no lighting applied, which is good. And then I place it down and it's normal. Yeah, we're getting there. A couple things I do still need to change and stuff there, though. I think it's a little too dark on the alpha. Have you built a game engine before? I have not. Because it is a very big task to build a game engine. It's cool, and some people have made really interesting game engines. You know, like super hyper specialized stuff that works great for their projects, and it's really cool. But, man, yeah, it's a lot of work, you know. I don't know if it's something that I would really have the time to, or I just don't really have a desire to. I think that's like one of the big things, right? Like, I theoretically could, but I've had such a great time using Godot, I just don't think it's worth it for me. I don't know if it's a bug or not, but if you almost clean algae in your tank and then feed the fish, the algae resets. That's interesting. I think I know why that happens. I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily a bug. I guess you could classify it as a bug. But all the updates for the tank like visuals are connected to a signal. So what happens is that when you feed your fish, it emits that signal to update like the state of the tank. So since you technically didn't finish cleaning the tank, its state is still that it's dirty. So then it calls that signal to update the tank algae visuals, and it resets it to the default state. I could do like a check for that somehow, or like pass in another variable. I mean, I think it's a very specific situation. I'm not super worried about fixing that right away. But yeah, if you want to make a post on Discord about it, you're totally welcome to. Oh, you have an assignment to make a game engine, actually? That seems a little ridiculous in my opinion. Like, game engines are a big thing to make. It's not something that can easily be done in a school assignment. Imagine they're not looking for anything too crazy in that case, so I wouldn't worry so much about it. I guess some of the main things that I would figure out and focus on is like, game engines, universally, they all have... Yeah, that's crazy. There's a couple things that most game engines kind of universally have. And two of those big things are... Every like object that you add or class has two functions: the process event and the instantiation event. Those are like the two things that you'll need to implement if you want to make a game engine. So these two things are super important. This happens, I mean, it's already like a built-in thing. It's just whenever the class or object is instantiated, right? But then this one is, it updates every frame of the game. So you want to kind of implement a way to have like an internal clock running for all of the objects in your engine. It's just the way that you can like keep running continual logic and check for inputs and stuff like that, right? So that's what I would suggest doing, is work on getting that set up. I think that's kind of the biggest thing in making a game engine. I did actually do that with one of the things on my website here. I technically sort of made a game engine in a way. It's like ultra basic and specialized, so it's terrible. But if we go to... No, wrong one. Neptune. All of these fish in here are like they have that structure, right? I basically set it up so I would read in like the refresh rate of your monitor, and then I would loop through a frame like once every frame. Like, so they have like a process event or an update event, whatever you call it. It's called update inside of Unity. So that's the thing that I would suggest doing. Because now I have code for these guys like moving every frame, and it's just, yeah. And I'm also adjusting for delta time on these guys too. So if I'm running on a refresh rate that's really slow or really fast, they will, you know, still animate at the same speed. But yeah, hopefully that's helpful though. Yeah, that's a tall order. Even just doing that, which is like an absolute basic of a game engine, is still like kind of hard. So yeah, I don't envy having to do that. Like a text adventure game engine? Yeah, that's true. You could do that. I don't know what the rules and stuff are about your assignments, so it's hard to say, but yeah. Good old used decorations. So I guess this is mostly working. We can place the decorations and stuff. But there's still a lot more work we need to do here. Very helpful, thank you. Yeah, I'm happy to help. Yeah, I mean, I haven't made one before, but I'm definitely like familiar with the way they operate, I guess. So, I mean, if you've got any specific questions about what you think or like what I think would be necessary, totally welcome to ask away. Because that's probably the way I'd be the most helpful. All right, so I guess the next thing for decorations is making it so we can click on them and like do stuff to them, right? Because obviously we can't really do that right now. That is something that we can do inside of tanks, right? Also, I can't select on tanks all of a sudden. That's cool. Let's go look at the cursor. Oh, I think if I checked if it was equal to fish, which is wrong. Yeah. I just need to say if it's equal to fish or equal to none. That would help. Okay, so you see how we can like do this stuff with the decorations inside of the tank? Like I can click on a decoration, I can scale it, I can flip it and rotate it. I want to be able to do, also I can delete it. I want to be able to do those same things inside of the shop as well, because I think it just makes sense. So I'm thinking about the way I want to do that. The thing with the shop is like, you can't just do, it's not a static UI. I can't just have a little thing that pops up on the side that scales. Like it just doesn't work that way. I think the only way we'll be able to do this is like, just a little pop-up menu that appears above the decoration here. And I guess what we'll do is if you click anywhere outside of the menu, it'll close it. I don't know. Yeah, I guess that's the way we're gonna have to do it. It should theoretically work in controller also. Like we've got the chef, you know, when he appears, like his UI works that way also, where it's just like kind of in the world. And you can interact with it both on keyboard and mouse and controller. So I think that should work. Also needs to be a multiplayer game engine. Oh boy. Yeah, that's pretty brutal. What like language are you programming your engine in? Because I think that would be good to know. This seems wild that you have to do all that for assignment. Have to make a multiplayer game engine? It's hard enough just making multiplayer in general. Okay, so it's like a whole semester project. Okay. I mean, that's a little better. C++, yeah, you'll definitely have to learn about networking. There's a lot that goes into that, but I would probably, if you're, are you allowed to use outside libraries? Because you could use the same stuff that Godot uses for their networking, and that would probably be the easiest. But I'm pretty sure it uses like, can't remember. Let's go look. Yeah, because there's a lot of different like ways you could go about it. You could do like WebSocket multiplayer. Enet, right, is another like library that you can use. This is Enet. Because like you can get like an Enet networking library specifically for C++, right? Something like this. And this is Enet. And that would probably be a good library to use for multiplayer because I'm pretty sure it's exactly what this is, like literally what Godot uses. Is this? It's in C. What is this? This is not... No, this is... Never mind. I don't know. For a minute, I went crazy. Yeah, you should definitely figure that out. Because if you're allowed to use libraries, I think that's going to significantly speed up the process of everything. Well, so you're going to kind of have to, because you need to... I presume you're going to have to do graphics rendering, right? So it means you're going to need to do, like... You could use, like, Vulkan, but I've heard Vulkan's really difficult to use at a low level, at least. So you might want to look at possibly doing like OpenGL. I think it's a lot simpler. You're probably not looking for something with ultra high like performance. So it's probably easier just to do OpenGL. It might not be too bad to do Vulkan. I'm just not really sure. I haven't ever messed with the SDK, or I don't know anything about it. So maybe it's not that bad. I mean, it is a very, like, universal framework, right? Godot, Unity, and Unreal all use Vulkan, so I guess it would make sense to use it. Yeah, all these different game engines. Yeah, 4 months for that is kind of insane. I'm gonna be real. Like, some people have spent years making an engine with just what we've just talked about. Just multiplayer, graphics rendering, and like basic core logic stuff. Literally could take years. Because it's so hard. So that's pretty insane that it to have to do all that. You said we can use libraries? Okay, that's... Yeah. That would be absolutely insane if you couldn't, because that would be so hard. Yeah, I definitely recommend using eNet and probably Vulkan or OpenGL. But that's just from what I've seen around. I don't know 100% if it is the best way to do it. So definitely like do your own research and see. Like, I honestly would just focus on picking a library or an API that's just extremely easy to implement, right? You don't want to, like, because sometimes a lot of these engines, it's not always the easiest library because they're aiming for like performance and stuff, but I don't think you should worry too much about performance with the school project, right? So I probably would, yeah, aim for whatever is easiest. But yeah. Crazy professor that 100% wants us to fail, yeah. Wild. I've had professors like that before in university, and it's just so annoying. It's like, what's the point of even going to university if their whole goal is just to make you lose, right? What's the point? I always think it's so stupid. But yeah, I had a professor for linear algebra, and honestly, linear algebra is a neat like field. I think there's a lot of interesting math, but he made it terrible. Yeah, it's quite a mess of a class. It was just, there's so many reasons why it sucks so bad. Man, he demanded that we did everything completely on pen and paper, which sucked because like when I write with my hand, I get like really like it's painful sometimes, like doing a lot of writing, just because I never do it. Like I haven't developed those muscles to like grip a pencil and draw and like write. I mean, like, I don't know. So it always really messed up my hands, having to do all of it on paper. And like the thing is with linear algebra too, it's like there's no way that you're doing any of that math without a calculator anyways. So it seemed a little ridiculous because we're literally already doing most of the stuff on our computers, and also literally everything in our university is all centralized around an online web portal. So the fact that he forced us to do everything on pen and paper is just absolutely insane, because it's just such an inconvenience, and it doesn't make you better at learning linear algebra whatsoever. So that was always so frustrating. I hate when teachers just arbitrarily make things difficult for no reason. Like, it doesn't... What is that even gonna do? It doesn't make it easier to learn. You're not gonna walk away being like, man, I'm glad that I did everything a terrible hard way instead of learning how I'm actually gonna do it for real. You know, I don't know. I think it's stupid. I hate when teachers do that stuff. But I am done with school, thank God. Done with school forever. I probably won't ever go back and do like a master's or anything. I just don't think it's worth it. I'd rather make money instead of do research work. That's the thing that I don't like about the reason I never did go to do a master's degree, because like most of the courses and stuff, or the positions you'd get with a master's degree, is research, and I don't really want to do research. I personally think research is kind of boring, but yeah, I mean, it can be interesting. There are some really cool research studies that people have done that I've thought that were like, whoa, that's a very interesting idea, or like, or it, you know, exposes some very, very valuable information. But I don't know. I took a course that kind of like simulated doing like a research study thing, and it was just, I don't know, not for me. Anyways, I gotta figure out how I want to format all this. One thing is that we have the tank decoration or whatever, because we have a scene just called decoration in here, right? And it has a bunch of code in here for all the flipping and all that stuff. It has entry. I would like to use this node. I don't know why it's a character body. I guess it's just because it's a tank object. But here's the problem, right? Is then it's extending tank object, which is just a little weird. I could see renaming that to something like selectable object, and that would probably be more fine. But I don't know, a little odd. I would rather do it as a static body instead of a character body. But I do velocity calculations on the fish, so it is quite annoying. I think I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate all this code and make a new thing, because I think it's going to start differing in a lot of ways. I think it'll be fine, because we already have decoration ID in here. Just ID. Alexa, fan on. Burn it up. And this is like all the stuff when it sets it. And then entry. Where is it getting entry? I guess that's another variable in here. Yeah, it is. So we'll have that in here, just in case we have it saved. Then eventually I imagine we'll be doing most of this stuff when we update the decoration in here. And yeah, I might pass in an entry then instead of a decoration ID. I think I have a function that's like create item entry. There's got to be a way that I create that decoration entry, so somewhere. you get texture size? So yeah, we set the texture, set the offset, get rid of that stuff. We're already getting decoration data, let's call it that, just so it's more obvious. And that's getting it from the entry. We're gonna ignore that for now. And same with all these. I don't know if I'm gonna worry about collision shape or not. It's hard to say actually. I could see expanding the size of it. I don't want it to get difficult to select things. I might ignore that. Then this is for the swaying, which we will worry about later. I don't want to do too much swaying. I think it would be weird because I don't think it's that windy inside of a building. So yeah, we will do all of this stuff though, the flipping and all that business. Okay, so we're gonna change a little bit how the hover function works. How a lot of this stuff works. So back to the aquarium selection, aquarium cursor. So what we're going to check here is that when we do the initial selection, instead of checking if that's not empty now, we are going to check if type is we got to check a couple things now. So don't worry about that. I want to be able to select it if it's empty and we're in decoration mode, otherwise the opposite, right? So if body ID is empty and held ID is not empty, or the inverse, right? Which is that it's not an empty ID, but our held item is empty. So if we go ahead and load this up, we should see what that sort of does now. So normally, when you're placing the decoration, you can only select these things, you know, when it's empty, but then when you're out of decoration mode, you can select these again. You can see I just clicked on it and it does this stuff. This is where we have to change its behavior depending on the mode we're in. So we're going to check if object.id.is empty. Otherwise, do that. So if it's empty, that means that we're creating the object and setting it. Otherwise, it means that we're just going to be selecting it. So nothing super crazy. And I think I'm going to change this code. Instead of hover, I'm going to set this to like preview. Because that's really what we're doing with it, is we're previewing it. Hover just kind of doesn't make sense. So when we say object hover, I want to say object preview. And I thought I did one, yeah, right here. And this is one thing that we need to fix, because it's doing this even if we're in normal mode. Oh yeah, but it'll just return, or just, yeah, it'll just do that if we try and preview it. So we should be fine there. Doesn't matter. Well, I guess we could just change the behavior of hovering depending on its state. That actually technically makes sense. I'm gonna undo what we just did. but I'm not going to worry about having a default decoration ID. So we're going to say, if we have an ID, do a thing. Otherwise, do a different thing. I'm trying to think how I want to do this. I think I'll have another thing that's like active. And then also pass in a decoration ID. So if not active, that. Yeah, this should make sense because then I can just set it back to white. Then here I can set it to color like 1.2 or something. And I might just do an outline instead of a brightness hover. We'll see, but it just gives me the ability to change it. Okay, so back into here now. For hover, I want to pass in false. And then down on the other hover, this one, we're going to pass in true. All right, so check this out. Nice. Okay, so normal here, I can place blah, blah, blah. Now, when I hover over it, you can see it like highlights and lights up, which is good. That's what I want. So, I think we're on the right track here. You can see it looks like it always prioritizes selecting the decoration, which is good because I don't want like it to be impossible to select a decoration when there's a bunch of people around it. So, yeah. So now let's just get the code set up to open the menu, and then I think that's basically it. We have to do the saving logic, but I think that's going to be really easy. We just have to loop through a big list of all the decoration spots and remember the data of what's there. And yeah. Let's see. 1 second. 1 moment. Okay. So I'm just thinking how I want to do the menu because I don't want it to be annoying. That's the thing. And it's more complicated than it seems at first glance. Trying to think how this is going to work. Because if I do like clicking off of the menu, I mean, it works, but I could do something like this where, but I want to be able to see the menu when you click on the or like I want to be able to see the decoration as you edit it. That's one thing that's nice about how it works inside of the tank, because you edit a decoration and it's like off to the side, right? But the problem within here is if we have a decoration, I don't want it to just go above because it'll be kind of in the way. I would like it to just go to the right, but then also there's other problems that appear. Like what if it's off to the side and you click on it? Now the menu is obscured. That stuff is complicated. I don't know what's going on, but it seems like the timer for income boost of the tank is not counting down when the game is turned off. That's interesting. It should be. Let's go check. Because in here, I do that on the grime. So right here, for each, it loops through each tank. And then I say time is the food boost time. And if that time was greater than 0, oh, let's see, what am I doing here? I might be doing something wrong. If time is greater than 0, you'll say if time minus seconds elapsed is less than 0. Oh, but it doesn't actually... No, because it sets it to 0. I'm trying to think what's wrong here. Should be working. Okay, so it gets the time, just to see what it's at. If it's greater than 0, aka there is a food boost active, then it says... if time minus the seconds that have elapsed is less than or equal to 0, which means we've been offline for long enough, then it sets it to 0. Yeah, actually, that's just a stupid way of doing it. So what I should do is this. Is say global tank settings set food boost time to whatever our initial time is, right? And do some code here. So clamp F, time minus seconds elapsed, 0, and now I do all of the checks and stuff. So now I can just say if yeah, let's do this so it's not confusing. And then say time is equal to that again. So now I can just say if time is less than or equal to 0, I don't need to set it. I just emit the signal. Okay, so I think what was happening was that, yeah, it didn't actually decrease the time on it unless it fully consumed the whole time of the food boost. So if you had like a 5-minute food boost and then left for like 30 minutes, it would be fine. But if you only left for a little bit, then it wouldn't do anything. But this should fix it now. So all it's going to do is just immediately say, get the food boost right here, subtract the seconds elapsed, and clamp it from 0 to infinity so that you don't get negative boost time. And then we just say time is equal to get food boost time. If it's less than or equal to 0, we emit that it's been changed at the beginning, just to update the tanks. So I think that should be fine now. Because that's the way I do it here, right? Is I loop through, if it's like in a valid tank, then I say, I just boom, algae time minus equals seconds elapsed times tank algae multiplier. Right? Just easy, and yeah, that should be better. Well, thanks for letting me know about that. I will put that in the change log. I did a big cleanup of the format in here. Oops. It's an issue where food boost time was not decremented unless it was over the time. Nice, full timer run out was working. Okay, nice. Yeah, that should definitely be what it is then. All right, neat. Also, so you can't select customers while placing a fish in a tank. I never kind of liked how that worked, so I didn't 100% mean for that to happen, but I think it's a happy accident. Also, why did it just call hover on this? Okay, so what happened here? So we said body ID is empty and that is empty. Oh, I don't want to check if it's empty anymore. I'm just going to check literally if the type is equal to decoration, I think. Yeah. Then otherwise here... Otherwise, ID is not empty, and that is empty. So types.none. I should fix it, I think. Yeah, it happens. I moused over a decoration with the fish in hand, and it tried to run the code for selection. But it shouldn't happen anymore. Oh, it's weird how I can still select these in decoration mode. I thought I fixed that. Oh, it's because of this line here. Okay, it's starting to get a little crazy on that line, so I'm going to break this up. I'm going to say var placing decoration, right, is equal to aquarium held type is equal to that. So if we're placing a decoration and the held item is not empty, otherwise if the body thing is there and instead of checking that and not placing decoration, oh, my problem here is that I just need to do this. I need to make sure the ID is actually empty. Okay. So then if I go into the shop, you can see I can't do anything with those now. Epic. Okay, and then we can still do it normally there. And then doing fish, it's still doing that. But what we can do is modify this code. What code we're in? Oh yeah, aquarium cursor. Shouldn't that be false though? I don't know why it's not. Oh, I guess just because it's... Okay, because it's in this mode. Let me think how I want to do this. Because we're in the fish mode, and we're not placing a decoration. So it counts it as being, like, valid down here. I just also need to check and not placing fish. Then it'll be fine. And now it shouldn't happen anymore. So I can select these, do whatever. Then when I'm placing a fish, I can no longer interact with decorations whatsoever or NPCs. And then when I'm in decoration mode, I can't interact with those or the decorations, but I can interact with these and place them. All right, we're good there. Okay, so I think all the selection stuff is worked out. Now we just need to make it so I can click on it and open a menu. So I'm gonna just copy the menu from the chef really quick. Well, do I want to do that? I'm not sure yet. Let's think about it. I do some scaling here on that panel, right? So we're gonna have to do that over on the decoration one as well. ready. We're gonna have to do a bunch of things. So yeah, we're gonna have to have a panel container here. And I want to kind of copy the one side of the tank menu a little bit. We got all this stuff over here, which is the fish info panel. I'm just gonna copy that. Go back into the decoration spot. Paste it. And there's our node. So for some reason, position is wild. I don't know what's happening here. Okay. Let's reset the size. Didn't mean to do that. Reset the position to 0. There we go. And I just don't like how any of this is set up. Let's delete this line node down here. Get rid of this. So now this is just in the center or whatever. We can also set the pivot offset to 0.5. So now we are centered. Position stuff is still pretty weird. It still bases the position on the left side or whatever. Actually, though, I'm going to do this because I want to be able to keep it like at a specific distance away from the object. So we're just going to create a little sub node here. And this is going to be the anchor point so that as we scale this, it'll scale this panel container properly. Then set this to center left, like that. So you can see as we scale this guy, that menu expands from the left side, which is good. And I don't know how close we want this UI to be. Not like ultra close, but close enough to where it's not annoying. So we'll just like put it right there or something. It is going to be quite a pain to adjust sliders and stuff on a, you know, thing like this. I don't know exactly how that's going to work. We will see. Should be visible on all these now. Actually, it's going to be a mess in here. They're all going to be open. Yeah. Like, it's totally fine for mouse. Like, it's perfect. But for a controller, I don't know how you're going to be able to adjust those sliders. And that's something that's a little complicated. Because if I go ahead and turn my controller on, if it'll turn on. Computer? My computer doing this stupid thing again where I just suddenly don't have Bluetooth anymore. Yep. I don't know why it does that. It's really annoying. Whatever, I'm going to connect it with the USB. And all right. So we're in here now, and you can see it's really weird. I mean, I can select these buttons and stuff, right? But it's like, what? Is my mouse cursor offset from where I'm selecting? Oh, man. I think it is. Maybe? Can't tell. The clicking is not doing anything right now on this. Which is really weird. Because these have focus for some reason. Oh, man. Okay. Let's look at the way that I actually set up the chef panel, because I think that's very important to know. Because on these, I put it inside of... I did a couple things to these buttons. First off, for the focus mode, I'm pretty sure I set it to... No, they have focus. I mean, mode on the panel container is none. Maybe I just don't have it inside of the mouse emulation group. Okay. So maybe that's all I need to do for the decoration stuff, hopefully. We'll see. Also, this stuff really doesn't need to be a child of this random VBox anymore. Oh, what is going on here? Hold on. Okay, this stuff is... That's all that. That's the scale. Okay. There we go. So let's make both of these buttons inside of the mouse emulation group. Let's set the material on all of this to use parent. And then the material on this guy to use unshaded. Let's also set the depth of this really high. Yeah, just something like 1000. Try that out. When do you plan to do public demo or early access? I really want to do that soon. I think the game's finally kind of at the point where it's sort of ready for that, I think. I've been just wanting to get all the quirks worked out. And yeah, most of it is there, so I think we might be ready for that quite soon. Oh, I see what's happening. Yeah, it's still just focusing these elements, which I don't know why it's doing that. Doesn't matter. I can just set the focus mode to none. But I don't know how that doesn't happen on the chef menu then, because I'm pretty sure I didn't change focus mode on these. Oh, unless inside of here I change the focus mode. No. I have no idea how this is working. Sorry, I'm just a little flabbergasted right now. Yeah, sorry, anyways, but yeah, hopefully very soon. I'm thinking either like the end of this month or very early into April, we'll start the public playtest. I'm just going to focus on getting like a lot of the little quirks fixed. Obviously, we need to get the decoration stuff working. Maybe do some more balancing. Make sure everything is just running smoothly, and then I think we'll be at a pretty good spot for it. So, what's going on here? Oh, did I not just apply unshaded? I think it's I think these might be in a different lighting layer. No. It's set to 1000 on the depth ordering. I guess I just didn't set this high up enough. Now it looks bad. I thought I gave everything in here the parent material. Maybe not everything. Maybe that's the problem. There we go. Yeah, I guess like I'm curious. I mean, do you think the game, honestly, just from what you've played before, is at a spot that is like, you know, playable for public play testing and stuff like that? I mean, of course the game's playable, but it's kind of a question of like, does it give the right impression, you know? Because I don't want people to play it and then be like, oh, it's or whatever. Okay, so we gotta figure out, why is that node now like off center? Thought I set the scaling to this to be proper. If I scale this, we can see that it stays in the left. Weird. I'm gonna have another variable. I think it's either very close or there. Yeah, I definitely think it's close. I mean, most of the core stuff is in. It's just one of those things, like, if people start making videos and stuff, then that's it. Because you get, like, one chance for that initial impression for the internet, right? I mean, it doesn't matter so much in this case, since I've already done a lot of marketing for the game, so it's like already out there, right? It's not like it's a complete new drop. Yeah, I think there's not enough content. No, I totally feel it. I think hopefully with this new update, it'll be at the spot where it's got enough going for it. I mean, of course, it still is just a public play test. It's not like a full version or even a demo, so I don't think it's going to be too bad. But, yeah, we'll see. See, selected is equal to status. Then if selected, else. Let's just say this is dot visible is equal to selected. Then we have to say initially that dot visible is false. Okay. So we just need to implement some code now for selecting the object. So we'll go back into our Corium cursor. And now down here, when we click on it, we say object.setSelected group. And then also whenever we get rid of our selection over here, like if we say hover false, I also want to turn off our, well, no, because selection's different. Yeah, it's a little tricky. How did I do this? I might have just put it all in a big group, then called on the group to... Yeah, maybe that's what I did. Add to group. Let's just make a group called like... aquarium decorations. And then I can call on that group. Before I say set selected here, I say... but that doesn't work because it's going to be cyclical. Is really well polished already, just that with the version I'm playing, I need to only send like 4 times to have everything. Yeah, that's definitely one of the big things that we'll see a lot of expanding soon, I think, is just the number of Ascension upgrades. It's definitely one of those things right now that's just a little too... Like, I added it in basically just for proof of concept, and now it's that it's there and it's working, I can kind of really start to expand it. So... yeah, I've got a lot of ideas that I've written down and stuff for new Ascension upgrades. I'm always interested in hearing more ideas, so if anybody does have suggestions for Ascension, you know, let me know. But yeah, some stuff I'll probably be adding in soon is like okay, I got the list. It's a couple suggestions I think you guys already gave me. Yeah, chance to get more fish per catch, maybe like some offline automatic fishing or whatever, get like a little employee to do fishing for you. I'm not 100% sure yet. We will see. Yeah, cheaper purchases, and I mean there's a lot of different Ascension upgrades that we could do, right? Yeah, those are just some of them. Brain doesn't work right now. I guess we can call the group, but we just have to be specific. When you say get tree call group, method is set selected and arguments is false and also false. Okay, we will try that out. It's a little stupid and messy, but I don't care right now. Okay, so let's buy some decorations. So if I select one of them, boom, the menu opens. Then if I select a different one, all the other menus close. So that works totally fine. I think it'll be good. You can see it's scaling with the resolution that we're at. But you can also see that it's a little jittery when we zoom in and out. I don't know why it's like that. I haven't seen it do that on other things. Like, how do I do it on the chef? Because I'm pretty sure I just like... Does the chef also jitter like that? Maybe it does. Yeah, I need to make it so if we open a menu or do anything, it hides this little UI, so... See, he doesn't do it. So that's a little weird. Let's figure out what's happening. Maybe he has a different processing order. No. I'm just calling in process. Scale is that. I mean, I'm not doing anything super weird here. Maybe I just need to call it before, or like, oh. Or it might be due to the order in the scene tree, perhaps. But the chef should also be added after that, so... Or maybe it's because it's before the order in the scene tree. That might be what's happening. It's not something you usually have to worry about, but I guess in this case it does matter. So I may have to set a process order on this, which would lower... So we want to do a larger value, I think. There we go. Yeah, that makes it just so that the process event of this decoration happens after the camera. It should work. Now, still though, controller is going to be complicated. I mean, I can see, and also we have to fix it because it selects stuff in the background too. And I can't seem to do the mouse emulation stuff for some reason. It doesn't want to, Oh, because that button type doesn't have support for it. Okay. But yeah, it's really annoying selecting on the UI and then it's doing things behind. Apparently I accidentally set it to the depth of the cursor. Set that a little lower. This is gonna be quite annoying, huh? Okay. Just trying to think how else I can do this. I mean, I can literally just emulate the mouse fully, I suppose. Because in here I do like the input. Where is it? Oh, right, that's inside of the camera. Because I'm pushing this mouse motion event, right? So maybe I can also push some other stuff in here. Maybe I say if input dot is action just pressed, click left, I also push back another event as well. Because I can push back mouse press, input event mouse button. And say mouse press dot button index is equal to 0, which I think is left click. No, left click is 1. You need to have a way to save your fish tank customization. Yeah, like you're saying, doing that through like an ascension instead of just like having it automatically saving like it does now. Rest is true. Okay, and then we're gonna push mouse press. Yeah, it actually does right now. Yeah. It is Xenon without cast. Okay, I'm not gonna worry about that. But yeah, that's like something that maybe it would just make more sense to happen as an ascension, right? Like, the first time you ascend, it's annoying or whatever. But then you know for certain, you see in the ascension menu, oh, there's a way that I get to keep my decorations, so like I don't have to worry about it anymore, you know? So maybe that's the play. I don't know. And then we could do the same thing with like the shop decorations and stuff like that. And like other, potentially we go even further with it. Like some fish survive the ascension in your tanks and stuff like that. We could maybe do that. Okay, I don't know if this is actually going to work. I'm curious to see. So this should be emulating a mouse press now on the controller. Well, let's see what happens. Wonder if I should have just done this from the beginning instead of having a whole new input method, you know? But no matter. Also, let's see if the shop... Oh. That's gonna be a problem. And I can't even select anybody anymore? Ooh. Oh, because it thinks that the mouse is still pressed. Yeah, is this the right way to go about this? I got this idea that when you ascend, you sell your aquarium to someone else, and that means you can view your old aquariums but not interact with them. Yeah, that'd be pretty interesting. I like save a snapshot of all the like stats of your last aquarium, so you can just like click a button and like preview it, so it like updates all your tanks and your decorations and stuff like that. That'd be pretty crazy. It could be neat. I mean, maybe a way to do that is to save a thumbnail of your aquarium. That'd probably be kind of the easiest way. Just so you get to sort of see what it looked like, but not necessarily, I don't have to emulate interacting with it, because that would be kind of really like complicated. That might work. I just take like a big full screenshot of the whole aquarium. because you can do custom viewport rendering stuff, so I could actually have another viewport disabled and then like set it to the proper zoom level and take a really high res screenshot of everything, so that you get to see it all. That'd be kind of neat, actually. And then you could like pan around the image and look around and stuff. That could be fun. I don't know if you heard any of what I said because we were in ads. Hopefully. God, you know what? There's a little part of me. I don't know how I feel about this. Doing other stuff? Oh no, it's all good. For controller stuff. What if we just didn't have a controller mode? Like, what if we did all of our controller stuff just via mouse emulation? Right? I don't know. It's complicated though, because I think the only issue with that is it's probably going to open up a lot of problems. Because like, there's certain things that just can't be done with controller, right? And I can see how that would be kind of stupid. Yeah, I think we might just do. Well, it wouldn't be that you'd always have a cursor on the screen. It's kind of more like if you're like navigating through menus or something, like it would still kind of work the same way it does now, but instead of actually doing like focusing and all that stuff, it uses just the mouse as kind of the way to interact. Again, I don't know if that's really a good idea. It's just thinking about it, but I feel like it would probably present more problems than it would solve. Because I like how this menu is, but you can see it's just really annoying with all the selection stuff. I'm trying to think how we could do this menu and make it make sense on a controller. I guess theoretically what we could do is whenever you select a decoration on controller, it swaps your focus over to that menu, right? I mean, that would be the play, I guess. So that you can just navigate through it like a normal menu. And then you can click circle to get out of it. Maybe that's the play. Let's experiment with that technique. So if we just press... What is it that I check? Is it UI cancel? No. I could just make it a type of UI menu. I might be incredibly smart. But if I do that, then now it's gonna like disable everything else until you get out of it. But it's not really a big deal. I mean, if you open up a menu, maybe I'd almost prefer that actually. Okay, so here's my idea. We can give this some code or change the type and make it a type of menu, right? Now, whenever we open this menu and we say selected is true, I don't say control that visible, I say toggled on or whatever. I had to do that on panel container. So don't even worry about that being visible anymore. Okay, I'm curious to see what happens here. It might be terrible. It might be great. I have no idea. So if we place down decoration and I click on it. Why is it opening every single one? It works! Perfect! Oh, if selected. That would kind of help, wouldn't it? And I don't know why the panel container itself is invisible. What is the type of menu? I thought it was... Oh, it just extends from control, so I'm actually just a fool. So what I'll do instead is give this the type and call this type of menu. And then I call that on the control node. Okay, this might actually work though. Let's try this. Because then what it'll do on controller is automatically grab the controller focus, so that would be great. Then actually, now that I've made that change, I want to fix the way the focusing and stuff is in here. So on groups, let's turn off mouse emulation, and then on all these nodes, focus, we're gonna reset to defaults. Let's try it out, guys. Also, by the way, I do have to end stream very soon. Sorry I've been ending stream so early recently, but this should be like the last one for a while. Let's try it out. Oh. Oh, it's because of the way that it does, yeah, that's not gonna work. But it will. Check it. Also, let's fix the, actually, no, I kind of like how it anchors like that, though. I'm going to call this, like, anchor. Then now when we modify this, or when we open the menu, we do that. And then on this, for the scale, we're going to only be modifying the anchor scale instead of the actual menu scale. So let's try it out. Alright guys, check it. Boom. And now it's a menu. So it disables all my stuff. I can't move. I just hit escape and then it closes and we're good. And then now if we're on controller, if I open a menu, boom, we're focused in on the menu by default. And yeah. So only thing I'm going to do now is just add a button to that little UI so you can close it. So we're just going to copy all three of these things in here. Go into the panel container. I'm going to add an H box. Actually, I do have a text thing here. Let's just get rid of that for now. So it'll just kind of look like this. And it's going to have an X on the top for mouse. And I might even do something fun, which is applying a big mask to the whole screen, except for the specific part of where your decoration is. Just to kind of imply that it's like disabled all the other UI stuff. Oh. Oh, owner.toggleoff. Not going to work in this case. But I can just save this as a menu. So we'll just call this, right. Or, 'cause, 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 Save it as a scene. Boom. Like that. Now it's going to work. Yeah, the masking thing would be pretty fun. I would want it to perform well, though. We'll have to figure out how to do that. And I could even center the, like, force the camera to be centered around it, too. There's a million fun things we can do. Okay, so when we select a decoration, I'm also going to make the camera move toward it then. I'm going to give another variable to the camera, I think. Speed, zoom, power. I'm going to say var lerp target, right? Is a node 2D. Then all the position stuff in here, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to say if lerp target position lerp f. Oops. Position.lerp to lerp target dot global position over the course of like 5 times delta. So I'm going to add a new script to this. And then function changed, we call super status forced. Then if status, I want to say global.aquarium.lerp camera. Lerp target is equal to owner of this object. Otherwise, if we close the menu, we reset it. Back to null. Let's try this out. Okay, no such thing as lerp target. Maybe I'm getting the wrong camera. Oh, but it's doing that on ready. I'll say if global.aquarium.camera. That'll fix it. Okay, watch this, guys. Ready? So if I select a decoration, I don't know why it doesn't work. Should be setting the lerp target. Oh, but that's why it doesn't work. Because I'm a fool and I'm stupid. Because of that code right there. Whoa. Okay, check it. I select a decoration. It moves the camera over to that decoration. I was a little worried I wasn't going to like it. But honestly, it's not bad. I think it's actually okay. Let's move the anchor away. The size to 0. Anchor this, center left. Just position this a little bit away from it. Like 16 pixels away. And I might even have that little line connecting to it. I mean, it's a very minor thing, but it would just sort of help it a little bit, I think. Let's do it. I guess I'll make that a child of anchor. And it's always going to be a specific distance away, so we don't even have to do it procedurally. We can just, like, literally do that. And give it a fill gradient. And it should scale the visuals of that with everything, so. Also, one thing I need to do as well is say line 2D dot modulate is equal to aquarium decoration menu dot modulate. Let's try it out. And they're all visible for some reason. Doesn't this control the modulate? Modulate A of self. Yeah. I don't know why it doesn't work. And why is that behind? Oh, right, I need to give it the material thing again. Now it, like, updates. And I do need to kind of modify it, though, because, like, when it's over here, it's too far away. So we will kind of... Well, let's see, we're gonna have to adjust the scale then. Oh, because this is... No. Okay, it's fine. We'll figure it out. It's fine. It's fine. So that points at index 0 is equal to that dot to local global position, and I'll just say on ready this dot modulate dot a is equal to 0. Why is it still visible? I literally, like, force set it to 0. So I don't know why it's doing that. Oh, that's what's going on here. Because it's not... I'll just also set the visibility to the visibility of that. Alright, it should be fine now. And a couple other things I gotta do. I do want it to stay below the decoration, but I don't know how that would really work. So I think I'm just gonna have it above, but then offset the position so it's not in front of the object. So say plus vector 2, like 12 away or whatever, right? And then set the ordering to something really high, like 999. Because this ordering is at 1000. Well, here, why don't I just do this? Ordering. Oh, that's the default ordering of a menu node. Okay. Is it? Oh, it's the default ordering of this menu node. Okay, let me fix it. And also, last thing we need to fix is that these do not inherit. Let's hope it works. Yeah, this would be a good way to just make this so much easier, I think, on controller and even mouse a little bit. I mean, it's just convenient. There we go. Now, it says shop. Ignore that. Also, why are these still being affected by lighting? Oh, I probably didn't make this use parent material. Okay, it's fine. Yeah, it's good because it just works. You know, because it's already set up. The menu node is great for controller because it's all the menus. So, yeah. Then the last thing we can do is, I might just change the text to say edit. I think instead of saying the name of the decoration, because... And then here, instead of saying return to inventory, it will say delete. So we can start doing a couple other things in here, potentially. So the delete button, I'm just going to rename it to delete. Whenever we hit delete, we can say global, or no, owner.set decoration. Not set selected or any of that, but I will call that. Yeah, because in here, if we set it to null, I want to make sure that we say set selected, false, false. And then if we do that, it should toggle the menu off. Let's just make sure that it's doing this properly. Oh, and I'll check if it is active. That's what we'll do. And toggle it off. So now when I hit that button here, I'm gonna pass in an empty ID. And let's see if it works. So it'll reset the decoration. And then we have to make sure we're updating all this stuff inside of our save data. Fine. Boom, we say delete. Boom, it goes away. Pretty easy, pretty convenient. All right, last thing is saving data, which I actually think is going to be very easy because I can just add all these to a group and just save them. All right, I mean, is there any other important things I need to do? I don't think so. What do I do for entry? I'm trying to figure out like where that gets set. Because I know I must create one initially, right? Because I do all the like flipping stuff. I guess I just start building it up. Like if I don't have flip, I set it to be that. I guess that's how it works. And that's why I'm calling get on all these, because they don't exist by default. So it makes sense. So then what I'm going to do is say back on decoration spot. We load it in, we get the ID and stuff. I'm actually not even going to set ID. I'm just going to have entry now. So this is going to be entry.id. It's empty. That is empty. I will have to change this and some things here. I'll just say by default this is equal to that. Just so it's not invalid or whatever. Then I can say ID is equal to an empty string. So I don't have to get ID, which will make it a lot easier because it's always going to be valid. Okay. Then also here where I get rid of it, right, I say entry.id, it's back to an empty string. Oh, I already do that. Never mind. Stupid. Okay. I'll end stream here in just a second. What else could I add in time? I don't know if I'm gonna have time. Yeah, I better end stream here. But anyways, we got it pretty much working, which was great. So yeah. We can just fix some of these things. I can say body.that.id. We say dot entry ID. Yeah, I have to leave early. I have dinner planned. And my family are going out to eat, so I have to be like, you know, ready to do that. Is this a save component? I don't use save component anywhere. I guess I just imported that from Starground because I was like, oh, I'm totally going to use this. And I just didn't end up using it. That's fine. Just got to make sure that this is fine. There's also something that we need to do is like when we set like your object.entry ID. When we set the decoration or build it initially, we have to make sure that works. Oh, we just call set decoration held ID, so we're good. Okay, so all this should use the entry system now, so it's gonna have like a little dictionary that stores all of its information, which is the same thing I do with the other decorations. It just stores stuff like the scale and the rotation and all that stuff, and the ID as well. Just all the information I need to know what the decoration is. And of course, everything has died. Oh, it's because decoration ID is not. Oh. So passed in a null active. Oh. What was the ID it passed? I guess it was empty. So where did that happen? Right here. Say hover. Oh, I think inside of decoration, maybe. I messed up something. Set held. Hold ID. I don't know why that's bad. That's not right here. Let's restart again. Place the decoration. Yeah, it's in my hand now. I don't know what? Then I place it down and it's just not there. Okay, something's really weird. Okay, set decoration. Entry.id is equal to decoration ID. So if our decoration ID was empty, we say set selected false. Which is fine there. It's not, so we do this stuff here. Decoration ID. So if the new one is empty, we set it to that. Otherwise, if it's not, we do this stuff. What? I don't get it. I'm trying to figure out what's going wrong here. I believe it's whenever we hover over a decoration. So what did it print out? Nothing. Okay, it's because it's calling hover. And it's getting to this section in the code. But entry ID should be null. Oh, I got it backwards. I'm a fool. Okay. But for some reason they're still invisible. It might just be because I was a fool and did it wrong. Yeah. Okay. It was actually nothing. I was just dumb. All right. So it's working with that new thing now, which is good. All right, I was doing print to S. Good. Alrighty. And then we can start messing with like the flip stuff, you know, do all that. I will have to have a new function now that's like update visuals or something of the decoration. Just kind of separate this stuff out from the actual logic of setting a decoration. So I'll set up a signal for decoration changed, you know, do all that jazz. But yeah, we're at a really good spot. Honestly, I think this went really well. We got it working in one day with controller support. And it should just work for kind of everything. So yeah, pretty cool. I got to figure out how to format this new feature now into a short. I've been doing a bunch of shorts for the game recently. Some of them have done really well. This one got over 100,000 views, which is pretty crazy. And yeah, one of the YouTube ones did pretty good. Yeah, I haven't been pinging anyone because it's annoying to get pinged for shorts. But I think we're already at, let me check our wish list. Let's go. Yeah, we're at over 1,000 wish lists now. Pretty epic. Still really not where I want to be at for launch, of course. I definitely want to be closer to 7,000 for launch, but not bad though. Anyways, it's been a lot of work. Yeah, they've been doing really well on Instagram, surprisingly, which is like the last platform I would think it would do well on. TikTok is a complete wash. I think the people, the type of videos there just aren't It just doesn't work there, you know? I haven't gotten anything over like 500 views there, so. But YouTube does okay. The one I just put up recently, I think got around, one of them, like 20,000 views, which is decent. Obviously short views are not equivalent to like full video views, you know, but it's going. Shorts have been a lot easier for me to create versus devlogs because it's a very small self-contained event. Like devlogs are this massive long process where I have to record like 15 minutes minimum of footage. Usually it's hours of footage that I can edit down into relevant clips, right? Which just sucks. And then on top of that, I've got to write this big, massive script and record everything, and I've got to somehow keep people's attention for so long compared to a short. It's just not worth all the effort, in my opinion. But shorts are like, I can do it in like, edit the whole thing in like an hour, and then I'm done for the day. So it's just so much more, something I can like maintain easier, I think. Yeah, I edited the trailer, so yeah, it's pretty easy. I just like, I kind of set out like a little bit of an outline on all the things I want to show off, so, and then just recorded it and mashed it all together, so. Yeah, I wanted to really focus on gameplay for the trailer because I think that matters a lot more. Like when somebody's browsing through Steam, you've got like 1 second to catch their attention and explain the game. So I didn't really want to waste it like I did with Starground, where I start with this big initial cinematic sequence. I just want to instantly get into the meat and actually show what the game is. So that's the idea with it. The trailer's really good. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah, I think it'll work out. Graham did help a lot. He sent over like a little, like super rough kind of draft concept for a trailer that was useful just so I can get a better idea of what would be best. But yeah. Anyways, let's go find somebody to raid before I'm super late. Yeah, I was explaining it to like 10 years in the industry, indie devs. A lot of people don't get the importance of gameplay. Yeah, it's so important. Like, I think honestly, doing shorts has been kind of a good thing for me because it's kind of like enlightened me on how to actually keep people's attention and stuff. Like, you really don't have as long as you think you do. Like, I think it's so important to just think like, okay, I'm literally just browsing through Steam. It's like the middle of the night. If I'm looking at games, I'm going to look at it for like a second and then I'm done thinking about it and I move on to the next game. Yeah, you really got to like capitalize on that. If somebody goes to your page, that's like a huge moment and it should be an instant like reward for the player. It's not the time to ask them to wait longer to see the gameplay, you know? So. But yeah, gameplay, very important. Nobody really cares about all the story and all that stuff. Like, that stuff works if it's from a pre-existing franchise, right? Like, if it's a sequel to a really popular game or something, having like a big animated cinematic sequence is great because you already have a huge fan base and people already know what the game is about because it's so popular. So doing like a cinematic story-based kind of thing for a trailer works better in that case. But just for some random indie game, nobody cares about the story and universe of your game. So, but yeah, anyways. Well, we're here to talk about anything, literally anything we lured in. Well, you're in luck because we're ending stream. Yeah, we're gonna go raid Adagon. He is playing some Down to Jam games. Yeah, we didn't do Down to Jam this quarter or whatever. It's like happens twice a year, I think. Just because I was so busy with Lured In. But Lured In should be fully released by the time the next Down to Jam happens. So, yeah. I was gonna ask how Starground terrain worked. I can give a really brief overview right now before we raid out. Basically what I'm doing is I'm generating a noise map and just converting the pixels in that noise map into tiles. And that's really all it is. It's pretty simple. I use a tile set for all of the terrain, a tile map, I suppose. And I just use like the function set cell, and then I do auto tiling stuff using the tile map stuff. How do tiles have data? Are you talking about like, yeah, like player speed and stuff like that? It's a little more complicated because I basically store tile information in a big dictionary separately from the tile maps themselves. So I have like a big table of tiles and then a lookup, and I'm like, okay, what's the speed? I don't even use custom metadata because you can only store so much in there. But yeah, we'll go over that another time. We got 9 seconds until the stream ends. So bye, everybody. Wishlist lured in. Buy Starground. I have to leave right now. Join the Discord if you want. Bye.